Welcome to the Decisive Podcast Series. I'm Roberto Ingram, and I am super excited about this episode today. This is our second season and our second episode. I'm sitting alongside my wonderful co-host, Zoe Mazah. Look at that smile. How can you not love
Roberto,
it? How can you not love it?
I am not gonna let you get away
Come
without
on, do it.
telling us what does this Q stand for in your name.
God. Quantes. I'm named after a famous baseball player. His name is Roberto Clemente. I don't know if anyone of you enjoy baseball, do you?
I've got no clue about baseball,
Okay.
but I like your name.
But basketball and soccer, you
Yes,
know.
yes, of course.
I wanted to say, because on the weekend it was Valentine's Day. So all of you out there in the world today, hopefully you had a great time with your loved ones on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you and welcome to the program. We're so super excited to have you because it's very important that we have a lot of great people watching us and supporting us. So if you resonate with the program, please do so by checking us out on YouTube and sending us a message letting us know. Yeah?
And
What?
subscribe.
Subscribe to what, Zoe?
Subscribe to Decisive Podcast Series right here on YouTube. And you can also follow us on Instagram.
So what I wanted to ask you was, I know the last couple of weeks, it's great to have you back, so I haven't seen you. And wondering exactly what's been going on in real life for you lately.
Well, it has been a crazy couple of days, actually crazy weeks, a lot of family issues, but a lot of work as well. I've got new music coming up, so I'm well prepared. I'm excited. I have a video shooting, all those kind of things. And I'm so happy I'm here today. It always kind of helps me to ground, and I am looking so much forward to the conversation.
You guys, she's playing this down. She's such a great mother. She's just going through her life, taking care of everything. And it's really nice for her to just open up because I want everyone to know a little bit more about you too, just a little bit about the platform you have on Substack. What is it?
Well, I do different things. I am writing a lot. You can find me on Substack. This is where I'm writing essays and poetry and all those things. And I do have a YouTube channel myself, that is Zoe Mazah, where I am speaking in Insights of an Artist about creative processes. That's always myself. And of course, new music is coming out there. I've got next release March 6th. I've recorded the vocals with you.
Ooh. How did it go?
And,
did it go well?
March 6th.
Okay.
March 6th. The song is called Tomorrow. Very positive. And actually, it really feels like I wrote those lyrics for myself and I need them right now because it's been a tough time. But
one of the verses was what?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, all right.
There will always be tomorrow.
Anyway, yeah.
There will always be tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm moving on unbothered by the turbulences of life. First verse.
As for me, I had such a great last couple of weeks. In the gym 3 times a week. I had working in the studio, vigorously working on a new label, Roberto Q Sounds. So that's hopefully something that I can achieve in the next 4 months or so. So I'm excited about that. And then last week on Friday, Jeff Mills was at Blitz.
Oh, wow.
Presenting his, I think it's the Liquid Room, 30 years of Liquid Room. And the place was packed. And he's one of my all-time heroes. So to watch him in action, to watch a real DJ master get it done, was just really wonderful. So yeah, so I had a really good week. So
you're all charged up for what is coming up now?
Yes, because today we also have another one of our heroes, our guest, getting to the point. Mr. Christian Prommer. He is a DJ, producer, sound engineer. He's also a musician, and he's done some really great stuff. And I am so excited to have the opportunity to present his worldwide exclusive right here with us today. It's very important. He's got a new album coming out, and we're going to discuss that now. But without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Christian Prommer to the Decisive Podcast Series.
Hello, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Thank you for being here, sir.
Yes, love the energy that you guys present to the room. So it sounds terrific.
Well, we are very excited to have you here because, first of all, sometimes we do have guests, and that is only online. We're not in one room, and it's wonderful that we actually share a room here, because especially for me, I think it changes the whole experience, not only for us, but also for our audience. So it's wonderful that you made the time to come
happy
here.
to make it possible. So it's not so far away, Berlin and Munich. It's doable.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
It's a good way to come back to my hometown.
what I wanted to do is I wanted to first tap into the man himself. So before we talk about the music, the wonderful work that you do, let's talk about how you've been doing lately and what's been on your mind the last days. How's life? What's going on?
Life is good. I mean, it's a fantastic time to be alive and be creative. And of course, there's a lot of negativity flying around, which you have to build some kind of defense system for it. Because of course we started the year with not good news, no good news, especially from I'm American citizen. I don't know if you're aware. So this is my home country basically, and it's very sad on one way, but it's something we have to sort of accept as one part and just keep it to our private island with our friends and family and make the best of it, and baby steps it is. We cannot change the world, but we can change the world with the vibes we send out and stuff. And I'm doing pretty well, and I have been working on my music and taking a rest from the music for like over the holidays, and didn't think about it until the end of January, and it's picked up again, and now we go back into editing and mastering and all the technical stuff, which I'm really a fan of also, being the nerd and stuff, and it's all good. I mean, often you have the feeling that life gets in the way of things, but I think we have to, as creative people, have this one whole big chewing gum of life and not work-life balance and all these things. We all have this excuses how to delabel our challenges. I would never call them problems, but it's all manageable in that sense. But it's you have to keep a positive energy. I call it method acting sometimes.
Well, and
method acting.
Method acting, well, some say fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just helps. Sometimes it just helps to convince
I'm
yourself.
real about it. I don't fake it.
Yes.
I get excited.
Thank you.
I get excited. It's not in that sense, but with this getting overexcited, sometimes you don't. The negative energy doesn't get a hold of you in that sense. And that's also, in relationships, sometimes, you have this, and then of course this self-fulfilling prophecy when you look at the blind spot or the stain on your shirt, and all of a sudden everything's dirty. But it's clean here. So this is in that sense.
A very positive mindset.
Yes, I try.
And I think that's key also for creatives in general. Like whatever influences our creative process fuels us still, but you transform it into something greater, and like this, you turn it around.
I love that energy of what you just said, because I think life is not always easy. It's kind of tough. I mean, as you get experience in life, you start to learn how to navigate through these, it's kind of a loop. It's kind of a loop anyway. So at some point, you have to deal with these challenges the best way you can and take them positive. Some people take it better than others, but I think.
But you have to learn also, that your responsibility, and also this blaming game is so easy. The trap, it's not my fault.
He's talking my talk.
But it's really tough to be that person to accept it and be strong enough, because it's very easy to be the little guy in the corner who sees it's not my fault. I tried everything, But nobody's waiting for you. That's the thing you learn after a while. And even as a young, when I was young and doing stuff, I didn't care. I wanted this tunnel vision. I didn't really, the negativity, I didn't have any radar for it. And then once you have more responsibility for other people, for people you work with and your family and stuff, and you get more, the vision opens up, and you get more also hit by the problems.
Responsibilities for others other than yourself.
Yes, but also, that's part of the thing, and the mentoring is really important in my age now. That I feel I went this way, and now I have to hold the doors open for the next generation.
Mentoring.
In that sense,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But
that's beautiful to say, because I've been thinking about the gatekeeper aspect of once you already built a career
Okay,
and you're there.
it's not
And
good.
I think once you reach a certain point, it's like really you open up and you open the
You
doors.
keep the doors open and
You
get
keep
out of
the
the way.
doors
I
open.
think that's really important because,
Yes.
especially now with all the distraction and the million ways you can do it and how you have to present yourself and how you present it, you have to really look good or you really have to don't look good. What's this
Yeah.
strategy? You forget that your vision, your way is this, and you have to focus on that, and also learn that you are wonderful and you're worth, and it's not your problem to get the people to see you. They will find you if you value that and build on that. But that's really tough for the young people. And when I talk to students and young producers and young musicians, I see how unaware they are, how beautiful they are, because they want to be everything.
Would you say this is part of
Growth?
no part of education as well? Because I feel for myself, I think especially in Germany, you are not asked to say, I am great, I am doing amazing, I am so very good in this and that.
That's crazy.
Like from school, I will never forget that I've been in a school meeting and they said, well, people might reach like a 2, that's like a B, right? But to reach an A or an A+ is almost impossible.
Yeah, but I grew up in a school system where all I heard,
Yeah.
you don't belong here, you're not good enough, you will never make it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the sort of the Wilhelminische Schulsystem, from the
Yes.
military Kasernen. Nothing has changed, and it's just this one loophole everybody goes through. But that's, of course, the way it works, the rating system of the society. But once you choose a creative career,
Once you choose them for yourself.
yes,
Choose for
exactly,
yourself.
then you left the department of this value system.
Exactly.
But still, you're so used to that value system that you cannot lose it, And that's the big challenge.
Would you say it's different
because
from management?
I'm against, I'm tattooed here and tattooed here, but I still want to be loved by my parents. This is like this thing, or by society. It's possible, but it's if you have to decide, and just do your stuff, and don't worry about the economics and But because now a creative person has to be like an accountant, a manager, a social media manager, all these things, and there's just not enough time of the day to also develop your identity and craft to be the best of who you can be, and that's the only way to go somewhere.
Be the best version, the highest version of you, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I think this is also a practice and a study that you have to work on every single
Yeah, but
day.
you need, and that's why I'm
All the
focused on.
time.
You need
Yeah.
people around you that give you the feeling that
Right,
it's
right,
right. They do it right.
Or
You're not wrong.
or you put yourself around those people.
No, but my main motto is find a way to love it or find a way to love them, no matter what.
Oh, nice one.
In either situation, you can always find a person that you don't connect.
Right.
It's like weird.
Right.
Go to that person, ask them a question, and you will find a way to love them.
Right.
And that's the same for music, for production, for styles, for either way. And especially in Berlin, where I work, where there's so many groups of nationalities, of cultures, of education, of wealth, and everybody's of course they do this, of course. And I'm like, what? Why do you frame it like this? If you expect them to do this, it might happen. But if you don't judge it, just let it happen and say, okay, they never promised to me that they will be different. Then it opens a fantastic way of creative equality.
Okay.
In that sense.
I'm loving the quote. I'm loving it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. No, but it's
Find a way to love them.
Find a way to love them. Yes.
Worldwide exclusive, folks, right here, season 2, episode.
Yes.
Let's go back to the beginning of your music career a little bit here. Where did music begin for you?
I started banging on the cartons from the wash pulver in the basement of my mom's house, my parents' house, when I was 8 or something. And then I picked up drumsticks and I got a drum set with 10, I think. And then I got some lessons in the Pasinger Musikschule from Frau Amandi, which was a famous drum teacher at the time. And she said, there is no talent. I should not play drums. That sent me home.
One of those courses.
Oh, really?
Yes. And she said, maybe I should try to do something with computers, which I should have done because it was 1979. And I would have been very rich now if I would have done something with computers back then. And the best thing that happened that my mom was friends with Hans Hammerschmidt, who was a famous composer, yes. And she told the story to him, and how, and she, of course, she as an American mom was infurious that, how can you do this to a child? Actually, my mom was also the first Bavarian mother who went to the school and told the director not to hit the kids.
Oh, wow.
She was the first one. Because I got hit at school, and normally the parents go, okay, well done. And she was the first one. When you did it one more time, I called the police.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't allow that.
But it didn't change anything. But
My mom wouldn't
we
allow
tried. And then the son of Hans Hammerschmidt, Wolfgang Hammerschmidt, who is a fantastic piano player and drummer, started to give me drum lessons. And the first time I went there as a 11-year-old, he said, "We don't play drums, Earth, Wind and Fire record." And I was like, what is this? The next thing was Asia Rowe. This time, Steve Gadd on drums.
Okay.
I was like, what's this? And he always made a cassette for me with what we'd listen to. And then he sat on the piano, and I could play drums, And I just went for like only a half a year. But this was like, for me, I was only playing drums, and then this music. It was just unbelievable. And then he passed me on to another friend who really gave me serious drum lessons. And from that on, I was hooked into music. Everything else was secondary.
Oh, I feel this when you tell your stories. Like, I can just totally feel it. It's like there is a special moment. And do you also remember like the first electronic record or night that made you think, okay, this is something I'm very interested in?
Yes. That's a good question. I have to think about it, because for me, electronic music was already also the SOS band when they worked together with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Yes.
Like when the 808 came in and all these things, and when Prince used drum machines, that was for me. And I lost interest in drums basically because of that. I bought myself an MPC and learned how to program drums and how to sample and how to do this. And I think I flunked once Abitur year because I didn't leave my room. I was just sampling records.
Well, that's the nerd factor. All of we musicians know.
Yes. Now that my parents are not alive anymore, I can tell the story. Well, yeah.
But it happened. It happened to all of us. I missed all those sports events, everything, because I was just practicing piano all the time.
But for me, it was not really always. It was all the same in that sense, and I was always interested in also the production and how the music sounded, but the way the bass sounded in R&B. Especially when this 90s R&B was just something I couldn't get enough of. And of course I didn't grow up with this music, so I didn't have this background in it. So I was just academically trying to analyze it and how does it work, and it's okay, Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye and all this thing. But it was only on CD. I didn't know about this whole way back music.
Yeah.
And then when Roland, my partner from Farnafest, was in the school just in passing, and I was in Gräfing. And we were like two competing drummers, and he was the vinyl junkie. And through him, I learned that this chronic, this is Roy Ayers sampled. And this is this. And I had no idea. I didn't know it. It was totally new to me. And I know it when he played this Snoop song. I'm like, yeah, this is the sample. I'm like, and like life began a third time for me.
This is very interesting. So, would you say that Roland Appel had like a huge impact on the way you developed as a musician?
Yes,
into your
aesthetically. Yeah, because all the instrument, the technology, that was not a problem. Analyzing and getting the chords and getting the melodies, but the aesthetic of this, for me, it was like, because it was not re-released on CD at that time. So you only could get like the Roy Ayers records and the Minnie Riperton and all these things. You had to get the vinyl and look for it in the stores that you have to find it. And that's, of course, that was a big impact on me. And then it's so funny because a friend of mine had a birthday, and he celebrated in a second-hand record store in Berlin. And I haven't been to a second-hand record store for maybe 30 years or 20 years. And as soon as I stepped in, the smell.
Yes.
And things, I felt at home like, okay, this is like Loveland, of course, an AC/DC here, of course, like knowing exactly where to find what, because I spent so much time of my life in record stores. In that sense, and that's a big part of and actually music is, the theory and the technology is way less important than the aesthetic and the codes you deal with. So all the cards you deal are basically the codes that make music current and define the new movements in that sense. You know, and that's all. And that's why also this meeting with Roland, and that's why we spent 20 years together, because it was a very good back and forth. And he was on a totally different technical interest, but he was like the music scientist in our project.
Would you think? Would you say today it's so different? Because I mean, the vinyl has like a huge revival.
Yeah, definitely.
But if I am searching for music now, this is mostly a digital experience.
Okay.
Would you say this changes the whole growing into music for young starting?
I don't see vinyl as a revival. I think that's made up by the boomers.
That's not true.
No, it's not true. It's not coming back. It's
nostalgic.
Yeah, it's nostalgic. Nobody cares about vinyl. Only the old guys. It's really true, but it's no problem. You can have it, the revival. But of course it's digital. But the sampling is now on YouTube. It's fine, but it's now on websites that specialize on Uzbek folk music, and people find it like this. They don't go to the record store. They have like online forum, and it's the same. It's the crazy stuff, the weird stuff. It's not lost. It's just a different formula and it's a different language. And I don't get it. It's not my style, but I love it when I hear it when the young people are doing it.
They just miss the smell of records.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I think I appreciate that, but I think touching the product, playing it on the turntable, it's a totally different experience. And I think
it's the same like when you go to opera house.
Of course, let's talk about the evolution of the music and how it's being transmitted and how people are consuming. What I've noticed, even from a lot of record stores, I've been noticing a lot of more records being sold in the last 10 years. Then
confirmation bias, my friend.
Yeah. But and for me, I'm a record consumer. I'm both sides. So I'm both sides actually. So speaking on the behalf of those that collect records and buy records, there's another point of view. Maybe the level, of consumption.
Something too, because
but there's no winner. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I love it. It's great, but it's the movement, the young people that are doing stuff that we shouldn't understand. You know, we're not part of it. We can support them, but you know, my comment is fantastic because there's so many level of artistry codes and rebellion in that that it's meant to be not for me. In that sense.
Okay.
Yes.
You moved on.
Yes. No, I leave it there. You know, it's like it's young people's game in that sense.
Okay.
And the same is like the vinyl, the smell of the record store. That's my antique. That's like, you know, back then it was a radio sport for us.
You're a legend. They say you're a legend, and legend is supposed to mean you're old. They're saying now. I heard a kid say that you're a legend now. Of course, you're a legend now. So of course it's antique.
Yeah, but you know how about this tradition is. It's not worshiping the ashes. It's giving oxygen to the new fire in that sense. You know. And that's what we and also this vinyl and the rules from back then and what you have to play and how you have to present it. It's fine, do it, but you will keep in your little fantastic museum where it's done like it's always been.
I like that. Fantastic.
I think it's beautiful.
Fantastic.
If there would not be a revolution growing after everyone,
course.
you know.
Imagine we live in a world where it's still where we are today and everybody's waiting for my opinion.
Okay.
I mean. Yeah, this is not the way it should be. Don't get me wrong. I love vinyl. I love this these things. But this is not the way, to quote the Mandalorian. And you know, the pop culture in there, of course, you know. But that's I think why I'm still getting so excited about these things, because my expectance is not through my what I you know, and that's the way you can be super surprised. And of course, there is people who use vinyl, who reference, there's a lot of going to trip hop, sampled echo delays, dub stuff going on, even in Berlin. But it has a new edge. That I could never do it, never. And
this next generation is seeing things from a different. They don't get.
But you know how long Thriller is away? It's almost 50, Thriller, the release of the Thriller. It's like 50 years or something. You know, it's like.
You know, there is a saying that they say that is competition and comparison. So, if you want to step up as a young upcoming artist, you might compare yourself. So you're competing. So you're kind of fighting to reach the level, and then you want to be better, and you should be better in the end. You know. It's like the student outgrows the teacher one day.
Yeah, but
and that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
This is how
that's why
it
I
should
think
be.
the staff did also difficulty with this because it almost feels like we own the vinyl culture.
No.
You know, this is how we invented it. And there's also discussion, is it hip hop or is it Deutsch rap? Is it, what is what? It's
Genre.
so who makes the rules, in that sense. And all these things
Freedom!
No, but all these things we refer to as the rules came out of something breaking the rules.
Breaking the rules.
In that sense.
True.
And so on. I think it's really, and I know it's preaching, blah, 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 in that sense, but I think for me it's really important that we send the love for this, and not this is how we do it.
Okay.
And revival is fine, you can have it. But I think it's missing the point.
Okay.
Because music is not bound to the media.
Okay.
It's delivered on. If you have
It's not bound to the music, it's what?
the media, how
Okay.
you've listened to it. If a DJ plays on a USB stick or a laptop or whatever, I saw Francois Kevorkian play with his laptop 20 years ago.
Yes.
And it was one of the best sets I ever heard.
Exactly.
But it looked like, what is he doing? Is he checking emails? People were like, yeah, but maybe you have to change it.
They were actually saying that.
I know, but but sad, in that sense, because they wanted this to be like it's always. There's nothing more conservative than a fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Let's talk about the era collaborations with Phone Flash and beyond. So, what did that chapter open up for you doing this collaboration with Phone Flash?
I mean, there was the collaboration was Fauna Flash on one point, but it was actually Michael Reinboth who gave us the umbrella, and I'm
Thank
forever
you.
grateful for him.
Shout out to me. We had him on the
I will throw
program.
myself in front of every bus for him, because he let me do the craziest stuff and was never critical. He was like, okay, let's do it, and he supported every stupid idea we had.
We had the great pleasure to have him here in the
He's
interview.
amazing.
He said that.
Yes, he said
And he's
that.
amazing.
He
And
really
I
is.
met him. I was with Rainer and him last year in summer, and I got really emotional because I also with Rainer Trüby Trio and with Fauna Flash, and because that was of course my defining years in my 20s. We found out who we are, and of all we had some successes, and we could build our lives and our families out of that, but from a point of being crazy and being unresponsible and doing really
And breaking the rules, like you
breaking
said.
the rules, but also being reckless.
Okay. Being at the same
Reckless in
time,
that
making
sense,
mistakes.
and also being a little over your mind. How do you think you are? You could have said at any time. It's just, be cool, relax, wait.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, but he said, okay, let's try. And we failed sometimes, but most of the time it worked. We found our way. And in that sense, that's really, and Roland also, we did it together, but it was Michael who opened all the doors for us.
It's funny when you say failure. I say that's not a failure. That's a success story. I know. I'm only saying that.
But it's semantics. of
How
course.
it came
That's-
forward.
of
How it
course,
came
yeah.
forward to the end. That's kind of one of those
But you
things.
have to. It's only the matter how often you get up from when you fall down.
That's-
Listen to
it.
my TED talk.
That's it. That's it.
No, but that was of course very, very formative for me. And I was always in the studio. I never had an apartment near Havas, but I think I was never there. We had the studio at the Alabama Halle out there, and I lived off the Tankstelle. And I drank the gummy bears and Coca-Cola. I didn't drink back then. There was no party for me. I was just in the studio, listening to DJs when the Masters at Work played, or Carl Gregg. I was down there taking notes, and then go back to the studio and try to recreate it. And we did that for
And you found yourself that disciplined at that time.
Yes.
That was
I was super nerd.
super mindset,
Yeah.
huh? Okay.
Yes. And
Can I ask where you get that mindset from?
I'm unbelievably smart, No,
You
I'm
said
just
you-
kidding.
you-
I have no idea. I don't know.
You're incredible.
No. I'm just kidding. I'm just
You're
kidding.
amazing.
I'm just
Outstanding.
kidding. I'm just kidding. That guy with the 2000. No, but it's
No, that's pretty cool. Was
of
it-
course, it's the way I grew up. My
Okay.
mom was the ultra supporter. Unconditional love was the motto of our family.
Okay.
So there was nothing we could do
Thank
wrong, but for the right reasons.
Thank
It was, it was not the spoiled brat, but there was expectations. But she drove me to the gigs, and when I was underage, she waited. Just so that I could see Art Blakey and Harvey Mason play when I was 14. And on the Wednesday night, she waited in the car, and then I could watch the band load out. And I just wanted to see how they are.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to see excellence. But I didn't know when I was young. I just wanted to see, this is Dave.
Cool.
I will never talk to him.
Cool.
So big shout out to all the
Yeah,
moms,
of course.
including myself, who are doing exactly
I was
this.
wondering when you were doing makeup on yourself.
No, and bless her soul and for all
my
the
mom
things
too.
that she did. And I think this is, it shows that we all can do it without a support system. No one is an
Oh
island.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm super blessed with that. And I know it's not the usual, it's unheard of, especially in this culture we live in, where it's you're told your place and don't speak up and also, I'm 57 now. And so born 69, and I grew up, of course, in a very conservative, religious surrounding where it's,
Nice.
balanced in that sense. And I still remember my mom when I was like 10 years or 20 years ago when she calls me, I'm sitting with a friend. What is it exactly that you do? Because she couldn't explain what her son is doing, in that sense. But she was very supportive, and I think that's also. But also, my dad was also supportive, but he was very academic and had very high expectations of your intellectual journey that you keep interested and you. But it's also for him. I learned that the most important thing in your life is to never make anybody feel smaller than you. In that sense.
So that chat.
To be driving and ambitious and trying to be smart without giving the other people the feeling that they're. And I might not have done it all the time, because when I was young, I was like always running, and always overthinking stuff and testing out stuff and getting the new synthesizer and checking it out and learning it and I was running over a few people, I think, at that time.
So how to be excellent and how to show off without hurting someone else's feeling?
Yeah, no, showing off. We don't show off. That's the thing. But I think the excellence came from not being the better than anybody, just being the best at what I do.
Good.
I think that's a fine line, of course.
It's a fine line.
But I always knew when to shut up. Whenever I was in a situation where I could learn, I didn't say a word. I was somehow, from early on, I knew. And whenever I was in the big rooms, like with Erika Badu or with Brad Ferry, and all this happened, and also in Germany with Peter Maffay and Miles Müller-Westernhagen when I was young, I just absorbed. And that's why I got invited back, because I didn't push my ideas onto things. I was just the little guy in the back taking notes. And I think that's really important. Yeah.
For all the youth listening, just write it down, take notes, because I think this is a very important lesson if you really want to grow. If you really have to know when it's time for you to listen, because respect grows, and if you know how to listen, then people will listen to you as well.
Train yourself out.
Yeah, the thing is also with working with young people and seeing how people develop, your knowledge will come out.
Yes.
But it will not come out with you telling your knowledge. When your expertise is needed,
sharing
everybody will know in the room how good you are. But if you start creating situations that you can show it, it's never a good thing for the process. But also being young and being Sturm und Drang, you have to do it sometimes. You overshoot it, of course, and we have to be generous in that sense. But for me, it's really shut up and listen. It's the best advice.
Okay.
It has always served me very well.
Okay.
Yes.
Take notes, guys. Take notes.
So to complete that circumference, big shout out to Compose and Mikhail Rainbow.
My Nobel Prize goes to Michael.
Yeah, because as we get a little bit further in this conversation, a lot of this is going to come out on this freedom of what you do, and how important it is. Zoe?
Well, I already heard what you had to say, what stayed with you. And I feel that you have a lot of gratitude towards those people that helped you finding yourself. And you said something that stayed with me. You said you've been reckless. And I wanted to ask you what reckless really means. Does it mean you unapologetically dedicated yourself?
Yes, and I was so convinced that this is okay and this is right and this is the way to do it and this is good stuff. And either you come with us or you don't get it in that sense. That was kind of reckless, almost to a rude extent. You know that
Or decisive.
Yeah, but I think the funny thing is I had a phase where I was like reflecting on that, and I called a few guys up I worked with when I was in that phase, and they all told me, "Oh yes," and I said, "Did I get on the nerves?" And they said, "Yeah." You know, and of course I wasn't right all the time, you know, but the general energy that we had, and I say we because it was Ronald and myself at the time, it was very close unit, you know, and it was reckless, you know, but it's you know, once you're Goldie or Pharrell, everybody says amazing, but when you don't get that far, it's like, you know, what's going on in that sense. And I don't compare myself to those, you know, but I think that's what I was lucky enough to have this, you know, this tunnel vision in that sense back then. But I only wanted to make music. That's the thing.
Don't we all have to be in a way reckless and unapologetically following that path to really reaching a certain level of growth? Because if you're just trying to please everybody else and trying to follow everybody else's rules, would you say you could even possibly just really reach the goal of where you want to go?
I mean,
I'm not sure about that, but I think I stepped on a few feelings that that it was not necessary in that sense. Okay. Who knows? You know, I'd rather have had more understanding from also people that were close, and sort of. But there was only our way. Either you come with us or you don't, and that's, you know, in that sense, it's fine. It worked out.
There's pros and cons to that. Yes,
yeah, it's just my belief that you know, and I apologize for that. Yeah, back then, you know, in that sense, and for the feelings that got hurt in that sense. And,
that's what you're saying.
Yes, because I work on that in that sense.
Thank you.
And I'm aware of that.
Thank you.
You know, and that's not who I want to be now. You know,
that's growth.
Yes,
that's also that's growth. That's aging, living an artist's life. And when we look back, I mean, we see where we could have done things differently.
Yeah, but also
maybe in 20 years.
You cannot do it alone.
Yeah, exactly.
You always need, you know, and I didn't really. Now I know it, you know, that also everybody needs to be part, everybody needs their credit in that sense. Yes. And of course, now I have the experience and all these things, but back then it was just, you know, it was not aggressive in that sense. I didn't kick any people out of their thing, but it was just so strong, division and the thing we did, that we just stepped on a lot of toes.
I mean, okay, depending on how aggressive you were. And
it was not aggressive.
And in what sense? Your trajectory was, and your vision was that way. And everything that's in the middle, blocking you, you have to go, hey, look, I'm trying to go there, and you're going like this. And to me, that's, depending on, like I said, depending on what you were, how aggressive you were in the sense of what you were doing, it could be just, hey, look, this is where I am right now.
I know, yeah. And, but I said it again. You know, I would have done it differently with what I know now.
It was too extreme. Right. For you to say that, for me, it's still human. Yeah. Let's talk about.
I just want to say I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm serious. I really appreciate him saying what he said, because to me, this is what we need to hear sometimes. You know, being real to me is so important for me, and to hear you say that after 30 years of experience, and to hear this level of experiences that you come there, to me, he hasn't said anything that anyone could go through in life.
Absolutely. Right? Also the opposite, the other way around. Some people just don't speak up for themselves enough.
Right. And as a creative, you know, you're trying and dipping and you know. So for me,
but you know,
it's
you
credit
stay a student all the time. In that sense.
Yeah, student.
Also, your heart is a student. You know, it's never done.
Exactly.
And also, but your mind also, and of course, you learn all these things, and then also what you expect from people, how they get involved and how they fight for your cause. You sometimes need people on your side. And how do you motivate them, and how not to alienate them, you know, in that sense. And that's, you know, it's also in your partnership, in your family, with the kids. How do you support them? How I talk to my son without putting expectations, even in the positive words I give to my, when I think I support my son, but when I reverse it, I see, okay, I'm sort of reverting you, you know. I'm putting
Borders.
Sure. And
yes,
yeah.
but I really need a long time to learn that with my son. That how much I expect from him. With even when I say, hey, das hast du gut gemacht in that sense, and what triggers on his side, and that's really important. I think. Yeah.
From these experiences up until the point where along the way in your life, something really important started to take shape in your story. And I am really curious about how did the idea of drum lessons actually come about? I mean, you worked, the volume 1 was remix of Derek May, Strings of Life, JD, Plastic Dreams, Ame, Mr. Fingers, oh my God, Can You Feel It, Josh Winks, Higher State of Consciousness, these were crazy. Kraftwerk, Trans Euro Express, oh my God. You just went on the limb.
That's him fanboying.
Yeah. Hey, these are some of my, I was playing all of these in my set. So, like I said, I'm curious about how the idea.
I was always a fan of this connection that I saw somehow from this 60s, 70s piano jazz trios and Detroit techno. And when I DJ'd wild style, and you could do it in the UK, but you could do it big time when we played in Japan. You can play it back to back, like a Manfredo Fest trio record from the 60s, and then play Higher State of Consciousness or Strings of Life. And I always felt the energy was very connected. And I always wanted to make a jazz rave record in that sense. That was, like from 2000 on, I had this idea, and I was playing around, but Roland, the trio, the guys didn't want to do it. They didn't feel it. No, they didn't. You know, they're not musicians. You know, they're more producers and DJs in that sense, and this was really playing and getting arrangements and stuff. And so it was on my mind, and then we had this kind of a big tragedy with all the distribution companies going down.
Oh, yeah,
we lost all the sales of our records, and it was really a bad time for the Trio in 2004 and stuff. Was really, everything was over. We closed shop, really. As I have to sell my car and all these things. It was really, really, really bad. And so we sort of went our ways. We didn't break up, but everybody had enough for music. So, but I didn't want to give up music, of course. And so I just was in my studio working on stuff, and I called up Roberto, and he came by, and we played with the idea of String of Life. And I just, had this drums programmed, and he wrote the piano part, and then we recorded it, and it was like, interesting. And it was lying around. And then I got to know Wolfgang Hafner, the drummer, and he came by, he needed help with his record. And then he played on, I said, you have this jazz track lying on, you want to give it a try? And he played on it. And that's the version we know. And still it was like, okay, super. I was really happy, and I was like putting it back in the drawer. And then 2006, my friend Alex Bach visited my house in Gauting. I was living at the time with his family, and I played it to him. And he was like, what is this? And he took the DAT, and he was next day he flew to America on a tour. And he made a CD out of it and played it. And 2 weeks later, I get an email from Derek May. Well done, Mr. Prommer. I heard your version playing by Jazz and Over.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what? Okay. And then Alex said, okay, I played this on tour. I will release it. But I was no expectations. It was just like the music that came from that's my rave record. And then we 2005, we did the 12-inch, or 2006. When everything was gone, and I think it sold like 30,000 banners, when nobody was buying vinyl anymore. It was crazy. And then we made the album in one day. And then we toured this for 5 years. It was like the biggest project I ever did.
Did you actually know at that time what you actually had done?
No. It was not. It was not a smart idea. It was just I felt it. It was a spur of money. It was what I always wanted to do. But it was Roberto, the joyous genius on the piano. Okay. Without him, there was no Strings of Life like I did it.
Because he slowed it down. The vibe was it was floaty. It had all this loungy.
We had also with choir and strings, and we did many versions. But I had like 7 drummers on this. I went through 7 drummers until I had the right one.
Oh, till you had the right one.
To get the right one. Billy Hart played on it, the famous free jazz guy, and there was like some guys from Munich, some guy from Paris. But I was really I was looking for it, and then Wolfgang played it. It was perfect, and only one mic. It was like really not a professional setting. It was in my basement. Basically.
What did this one drummer do that you selected that stood out for this?
Yeah, he just made it. He understood the vision of this Art Blakey drumming.
Art Blake, okay.
Art Blakey kind of jazz drumming, but this minimalistic repetitiveness. Without being too Latin,
right.
You know, the jazz drummer playing Latin is always kind of, but playing jazz drummers playing club music is not. It was just right. Wow. It was just perfect.
What a sweet spot.
Yes,
yeah.
And we only could make it at that time, you know. But there will be more. I'm working on new stuff for that, and it's going to be amazing. And I have Tony Allen on board for that.
Wow!
Before he passed away, he was in my studio and recorded some.
Are you kidding me?
No. Yes, and there's going to be a Drumlesson records with some amazing cover versions.
Okay, when? Okay.
But that's in the next year or 2 years, or then with some time.
Okay.
So, would you say the biggest creative challenge recording this was really finding the right drum sound or the right drum
the aesthetic
pattern?
again. Yeah, the aesthetic. Yeah, the personality in that sense. I couldn't program it. I tried to do this also because there's also like amazing ways to do it with technology, but it didn't work out. And it was also I was on a journey of finding it. I couldn't nail it really, but when I had it, it was a no-brainer. And
how do you know when it's done?
You just know. You just know. But as I said, I left it in my drawer. I didn't play it to anybody. And I played it, the sad story, I played it to Michael Reinboth and he didn't feel it.
He didn't feel it, huh?
So, because I offered him first, and then Sonar released it and it got a big hit. So, and Michael was kind of mad that he didn't get it. But, you know, sometimes he just pass on this thing. So,
can you do something else like this?
Exactly. Yes. But it was the guys who participated on the project were at the right moment, at the right time. You know, this is, and then when we did the record, it was like there was musicians in there. And that's of course big shout out to Roberto also, who helped me and gave me the trust that these big guys trusted me. As without him here, I could not have done it.
I mean, you were pushing.
Yeah.
He was pushing something really.
But it's the same. I was like going. Like,
yeah.
That is Roberto. Roberto was on another planet in that sense.
I was going to say to have people to actually follow that jump is kind of going through.
And it was
all
like
those
5, 6, 7 years where we really did fantastic stuff. And now everybody works on their own planet again, and it's all great in that sense.
Now this grew into a touring band with world-class musicians, right? When did you realize it became bigger than just a studio idea?
Yeah, when we did a studio idea and we got invited to play the worldwide awards in London, and it was funny because there was all these jazz cats. You know, you play all the and they were like really like, you know, I need this kind of money and I need this kind of travel and they played the show, and afterwards they were like, okay, it's not important anymore. We want to play with you, no matter what happens. You know, I know. Okay, there's something going, because for the jazz guys it was totally new to play to a young crowd who goes crazy and dances. And cute girls and cute guys and everybody's fashionable and everything, you know, and it's not this jazz critics and dance. And so we opened this door to this rave jazz thing. And for me, it was a live play DJ set. You know, I had little electronics, but it was very energetic, and I started playing drums again. So I was like the third drummer in the project, like with timbales and electronics and stuff. And that's why I called it Drumlesson, because all the drummers were so much better than I am. So for me, it was always a drum lesson I was getting when I was on stage.
Okay.
Yes, for me, I got the drum lesson.
Okay, got it. Okay, good.
Oh, everybody thinks I
now I know where the title. That's where I know the title came from. Now,
yes, exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, you know, I have Wolfgang Hafner, Ernst Ströer, who's like the best percussion player on the planet, here from Wessling. Then Rani Krijan from Morocco played there. Roland Pyle from Cologne is like all of those guys. Next to them, I should not touch a drumstick.
Forever student. That's so beautiful.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I should never touch a drum.
No, it's so funny that sometimes you play like that. They're like, dang, take it down, down. I'm like, I can do it, dang, take it down. And they're like, no. You have to do it, dang. I'm like, yeah, but that's what I'm doing.
To be vulnerable and put yourself in that line of fire like that, saying what he just said is.
Yeah.
Kudos. Said it before.
Kudos.
Yeah. And they know it, of course, you know. And it was fantastic concerts. And then, of course, you had new drummers. I had Matteo from Stuttgart playing, and Roberto couldn't make it anymore. So we had other peoples. But then the magic was with the original guys. You know, and we went to Japan. We played at the Jazz Festival, and it was like a Beatles show. I could have stage dived. I will never forget it, how good the audience was to us.
Awesome.
It was unbelievable. Like
Awesome.
2,000 people going crazy. We're signing T-shirts afterwards. You know, for me, I'm just the student here in that sense, and that was really unbelievable for me.
And did they help you to feel like you were a good student? That were they supportive? They were just
Of course.
They were all
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Great.
of course, they all had their different agenda, and of course, they're all so strong individuals that they couldn't be part of a group so long. You know, that's why Wolfgang had his own project, Tita has his own, and it's fantastic. And of course, I don't want to interfere. I'm super grateful that they spent time with me.
Okay, good.
And that I could afford, that I had this 2 years with those guys will stay with me forever.
Okay.
And for me, it was like playing with the Pitches Brew Band, the level. You know, no mistakes ever in 2 years. No mistakes. You
So
know?
what did that the whole experience of this first season of Drumlesson taught you about yourself? Is there something like I am going to take this with me forever?
Of course, because I had the idea always that I want to do this jazz thing, and it worked out. I couldn't sell it to my friends back then, but I stayed with it. And of course, after 10 years, the record came out and it worked, and it was a big success.
So,
But
to put it into a quote, put it into a lesson, if you could pass this on to someone who is just starting out, would you say like you have a dream, you really feel it, and you're going for it? Don't give up, because this is how it works.
Yes,
for you?
but I was super privileged that I have had an audience waiting for me. You know,
Yes.
So it was easy, in that sense. You know, it was of course the 20 years before the career was building up. I had the trust of agents. I had the trust of the venues. So it's very easy for me to say, just follow your dreams, because I think that's not a good advice. Because it's very dangerous. You can only hear it from people that made it or have a really wealthy background. So of course, follow your dreams, but you have to be very smart about that. Your dream is not enough.
Thank you so much for saying this. Don't just follow your
forget it.
dreams.
It's stupid. That's
But
so
you
sorry.
have to
I don't
be
wanna say it, but it's-
smart about this.
Yeah. Nobody's waiting for you. Nobody promises you anything. And following your dream doesn't buy you anything.
I love that you're saying this, because I've been witnessing this too many times, seeing like ambitious people, talented people, just following their dreams and not being smart about it, and they all lost it. They
Yeah, but
lost
it's
themselves.
also a question of privilege. You
Yes.
know? Look at me, how I look. There's no more privileged person in this city. You know?
Okay.
I'm born in the right gene pool, with the right thing. You know, I get nothing problems, but still, there's so much I have to do to
Yes.
be heard, to fight for my point in that sense, and to be also to have it sustainable. Because to peak once is easy. It's not easy, but it's okay. But then to keep it working. And the drum lesson is quite a good example, because it was really good, and then I got lazy because it was just going so well, you know. And then that's when I couldn't really keep up the standard, you know. And luckily I found it. I was like, that's sure, you know, no rehearsal this time. We just play.
I was going to say, because you lost because you left the routine that you were doing that was working.
Exactly. You know, but it's fine. It's no problem. You know, and then you get this little less here, little less there, and then I lost interest in the project, and I had to fight it. It didn't break the project, but I found myself in a spot. Okay, why are you so comfortable now? Because then the performance got, and that's why when I took a break and started on something new in that sense, because I was afraid that I will, you know, drive this into the ground.
Oh, so you didn't feel like it just reached its peak?
No.
Okay.
But I was just the politics and all this. It was just too much in that sense, and then it was, and of course, I did a new record, and I moved to Berlin, and all these things changed a little bit. There was other things. I got my son was born 2016. My new one, and that took a lot of energy, and I tried to spend a lot of time with the kids, with these kids,
Okay.
and so, but it was. I mean, I followed the dream in that sense, or the passion, but it was a lot of behind the scenes work in that sense.
You've been doing this for such a long time, and
Can you speak a little louder? My heart here in this corner.
yeah, you've been doing this for a long time now, and life can be pretty intense, right? So, what's kept you balanced?
I'm not balanced.
Okay.
I'm not balanced. I have also demons, fights, and dark sides in that sense. And I'm hurt and I'm suffering in that sense. But I don't let myself get that out of me. And I need, sometimes I really need times for myself. That's why my record, the new one, is called Rhythmic Nocturne, because home alone in the studio at night, that's sort of my time where I refill and refuel. And it's hard. It's a hard job being a creative person, independent, and in that sense, and being also in the front and having the energy and exciting people and stuff. And it's not always easy in that sense.
Is it your mindset on your in the experience of life that keeps you talking in such a?
I think so.
A structured.
Yeah, because I'm the only one who can, pull myself up in that sense. There's nobody waiting for you.
So does your creativity, does your music help you in the darker moments of your life?
Absolutely.
So that's part of the transformation, part of being yourself or growing into new aspects of yourself, and also
the music
getting rid of
was always there for me. Of course, was always there for me, but also when I didn't pay attention and I didn't take the music seriously enough, that always I could hear it and feel it, and that was a good sign for me to hey, take a break and get back to it when it's time to do it.
Feel it. I'm a big fan of vibration.
If you're taking a break, and if you are not on stage and if you're not in the studio, where will I find you?
In my kitchen.
Yeah, okay.
That's not so crazy anymore, but the usual. I like to cook for the family and friends and stuff, but also experiment
He is
stuff.
actually me. That is exactly what I.
She likes it. We always, whenever we're talking, she's always telling me,
when I need a break or do something, I'm still creating, but I'm cooking or I'm baking.
But I found out it's not really taking a break because it's putting a creativity in the fridge and not into your.
100%. Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's basically just like me. That's exactly the same thing.
You continue working, but it's a different method of
it's a different
that
method.
sense. With the kids doing stuff with all these. That's really my time off. And so I have to go to the soccer games and all these things and go to the Star Wars exhibition like I did now an hour ago here in Munich and stuff. But I don't have any activities in that sense. But we like to travel and I don't go to concerts so much. I don't go into clubs so much. I get new music over the work I do in studios and with new people and stuff, and I like that. Yeah.
Is there any artist or record that you're crazy about right now in the very moment that you say that I just heard this and I really love it? I would, want people to hear it because it's just great. I just found it. Something new or something?
No, actually, I'm back into the whole floating point, the Blue album, the floating point stuff. I really rediscovered that last week, and I'm going back to that UK-driven, up-tempo, techie house stuff that I really like. So in that sense, but what's the guy that got the Grammy? Benet, the R&B guy.
Oh, I can never say the name right. One with a name that I can't pronounce.
Yeah, he's amazing. That's embarrassing that I don't know the name, but he's a very charismatic, amazing singer. And I checked his music out. So there's so much stuff going on. It's really, and I'm with my ADHD. I go through all the records all the time. Like I don't even listen to the end. Sometimes it's like really terrible. But those are the songs and the music I listen to all the way through.
Do you have this sensation that when you're working with something new, or that you feel something is coming, that you like listening to something here, a next record there, see colors, maybe see an exhibition? Like, does it all fuel your creative fire inside of you? Does it come from everywhere and you feel like it's coming together? You don't really know yet where you're going to go, but it's somehow...
Yeah, but for me it's different. It takes away the focus. It's not that, I saw this exhibition, now I'm going to do this. So it takes my mind somewhere else, and then there's a new space coming. Opening where I can do stuff. But for me, it's always the good, interesting things happen when I don't have an agenda, when I don't have a deadline, when I just see, and that's good when no new toys come into the studio. When you have this new machine or this new synthesizer or this, now I got into this whole robotic thing where you have like this little machines playing drums for you and stuff, but acoustic drums. And that's when you just fool around, or when you show a new intern, you show how the mixing things work, and then you just play the synthesizer without thinking about it, and then you play the most amazing melodies.
It's playing.
That's why I always record. I have a little hard disk recorder in my studio that's always running as soon as I enter, because we don't miss stuff.
I love that you say, because basically it's playing. We say we play music, like we play ball. You know, you play a game.
Yeah.
And I think it's the playfulness.
But I really feel bad about not knowing the name from this singer. I have to look.
Okay, yeah, look it up. Yeah,
Yes,
please do.
Yeah, really.
Me too, actually.
Yes,
I do, and it's a name that
Durand Bernard is the name. Durand Bernard.
and
He's amazing.
I can never pronounce this right.
Yeah.
Durand? I'm so bad. Durand
Yeah,
Bernard.
but he's amazing. No.
It's terrible,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah,
names. I mean, so I'm feeling so bad when people don't say my name right. So I should learn this any better. We're here.
Okay, cool. So, now,
So,
Because this is a special moment. You've been waiting for this.
okay, preparation here. Okay, so let's talk about the segment of Rhythmic Nocturne. Yeah? Okay. So, you guys, believe this or not, this is a worldwide exclusive, and we're the first one to actually hear this. And
yes.
what a wonderful opportunity! Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy to share music, yeah.
I really appreciate it. Really honored to do this. Now, what I wanted to talk about is Rhythmic Nocturne feels like a bold step, next journey, career step or chapter in your journey. Would you say? Or since Drumlesson?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and this is my second solo electronic album. I did one in 2014,
Right.
and also a compost. And this is, of course, a new step. Yeah,
Okay,
because
cool.
it's half played, half programmed, half everything. So, but it's just my vision of music that I do all by myself.
This is
also
enough-
my take on Berlin. You know, this last 10 years in Berlin. This is new. This is the new aesthetic also. And it's a lot of collaborations on this record without the people being on the record, like from different inputs in that sense. But everything happens at night. It's a night city, night life. And I have my little studio in my basement. When everybody's finally giving up in the family, I can go down there and do my stuff. And that's a quite interesting journey.
Give us a short. Who collaborated with you on this?
There's like local
The
musicians. Locally, there's.
Let's give them a shout out.
Yeah, of course. We have Johannes Brecht from Stuttgart, who worked on string arrangements. We have Leona Berlin, who on vocals, who sang on one track. And
I like that track.
yes,
What was the name of the track she sang?
Struck.
Struck. That's the
Yes.
one.
And then we have Justine Hermert, who's singing on one jazz track, who's a really unknown vocalist from Berlin, but she's not really into music, so it's a one of a kind performance. And Martin Voss is like a cello player. He's like a techno guy, really crazy people. Moses Jofi, the amazing piano player from the trio. So they all have like small snippets, and I do sessions with them, and then I have little ideas that I keep, and I over and over engineer them. So
Were they strategic in your planning?
no,
Okay.
we just meet and do stuff, and then we see. So it's never strategic. It's really more like a let's see what happens. There's no. I'm not that organized, unfortunately.
Berlin.
Yeah.
No, let's get-
No, yeah, of course. No, but it's like, the whole process was like, there was like 50 tunes, 50 tracks. And then you then sit down and you get a string arrangement here and you do it a little there. And there's one, Trying Times, is the jazz tune on there. I had, my first version was 2007. I did with this sample. It's an old Roberta Flack song that I used to use Trying Times for open my set. And then it always fitted, it's Trying Times. It's like brother against brother. This is what we have right now. And we have to keep trying and not let the negativity make a wall between us.
That gap between drum lessons and this.
Yeah.
What sparked this record, and why did it come together now?
Because from Drumlesson, I came out sort of being confident about playing again. Not overconfident, but I was able to play my instrument again. Before Drumlesson, I didn't play drums for 20 years.
Uh-huh.
And the guys and the experience and being on tour and also gave me, and I was sort of practicing again. So I had the feeling, okay, this is I got my instrument back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I played more drums and stuff. And then in Berlin, I have access to a big studio where I can have also everything is set up and I can just fool around. And this, and I didn't want to have a meeting with the people and rehearse. I just wanted to experiment with my instruments, and all of a sudden I had all these ideas that sort of, and at first I thought, okay, it's like little snippets. It's just like a collage of my Berlin nights in that sense. But then after years, it develops more and there's more structure in that. So it was more like an introspective into my crazy brain, what interests me. And there's a one track where I just play piano, and it was just recorded, and I put my fingers on the strings and put tape on it, and then afterwards I cut it together, and this is the opening track, and it's just the piano, nothing else in that sense. And then I found a little guitar pedal that I was using, and I put that on every track. So it all came together. It's all connected, without a big concept in that sense. And I did, you know how it is, and you work on all these ideas, and then all of a sudden it's like these 12, 13 songs.
And that list, that's an open puzzle piece of things you have to do. I mean, how long did it take to actually know what was you were going to keep? You work with all these.
The songs I keep coming back to. You know, I run the Red Bull studio in Berlin. I'm responsible for an engineer team.
We'll talk about that.
And for the young engineers, 2 years ago, I had this rule. Hey guys, every day you do one idea. So you do a drum loop, you do a new drum sound, a new synth sound. Just, you know, and at the end of the week, everybody plays me their 5 ideas from this week. And I had to do it too, you know, in that sense. And that's a nice challenge. You know, just to get working and open your space, and sometimes and the really good stuff came out of that. You know, also what I did, and I had in my library, I had a lective everyday minute, and of course, and a lot of ideas that are on the record came out of that fun training for my guys in that sense.
Mm-hmm. I think that's amazing, because it really is a good, how can I say, like a journal prompt for people. You train your creativity by just doing something like every single day, and then you're looking back by the end of the week or by the end of the month and just see what you came up with. I think that's a brilliant.
Yeah, but it's also important to have a catalog. You know, when I go to the studio with a new artist, I can open my hard drive and there's music from 20 years that's unreleased. But if you're young, you don't have that. Yeah. And don't tell me anything about writer's block and not ideas. As soon as you sit there and say, let's do something with this, and limit yourself to an iPad, to an iPhone, to something. No, you will have an idea.
Thank you for saying this. Thank you for saying. I've been speaking about this so many times, because people always tell me, "Oh, Zoe, I do have a writer block." I said, "What's the matter with your life?"
Yes,
and then they tell me about their life, what is going on, and they always say, "Well, there is already your first verse. Yeah. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling low. The weather is going on your nerves. This is your first verse. So you put it down, make it something.
But who's responsible for your career and for your creativity?
Exactly. Nobody.
Oh, I didn't get the writer cards today. Where's my funk cards? I cannot.
Exactly.
Thank you. This is not professional. Also, you go to the studio and you do it.
He's hardcore.
Yes, of course.
But that's the way.
No, I mean it. No, I mean it in a very good way. Yeah. Meaning that. We were talking about you have this trajectory, and only person that's going to get it done is you.
Of course. Every idea needs to be released, of course.
Right, okay.
I have a million songs that I know inside out that nobody will ever hear.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about the practices.
Yeah,
we're talking about the studies. We're talking about the learning. We're talking about
have a new harmony, have a new sound, have a new melody, have a new kick drum, have a new plugin that you understand.
Right.
There's no need to sit at the piano, find the new note. Oh, I never used the G. Okay, let's focus on this.
Okay.
There's so many things you can do.
Okay.
And nothing has to be a finished song.
Okay.
But everything will change your word. It's just the way it is.
Thank you for your bluntness and your directness and your honesty.
I want to say, please, people, take notes.
Yeah.
Listen back. Yeah. Because this is food for thought.
Right.
And this is exactly what you need if you feel blocked.
Yeah. It's okay. Go take a walk, go on vacation in that sense. But the people you admire never took a walk, never went on vacation, never had an excuse. They stayed in the studio until something came out. Yes.
You've got to show up for your work.
Show up.
Yeah.
Show up. I like that.
Don't be too cool for school.
Show up.
That's the thing.
Oh, don't be too cool for school. I am going to say that at home. Don't be too cool for
Yeah,
school.
but,
You be present. Be present in your work. Yeah.
No, and
You be steadfast.
what we do becomes even more fun if you're really knowledgeable. If you made the mistakes, if you know how the feedback hurts in your ear, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
Yes, and of course, you missed the spot a million times.
Report the feedback.
It's better if you do it a million times when nobody's around. You know, that's why you have to do it, and there's no in that sense. Of course, you will not write a number one single every, and following. Also this year, you have this one. People get notice of you, and then nothing happens. I see that so many times. Yeah, I didn't feel it. And all this is fine. And also the other thing is find people who inspire you. Just take somebody to the studio. That's why so many people have their entourage in the studio, because that's how they get in the mood. That's fine, but they get to work, and all these guys we look up to. Nobody takes a break because they don't know what to do.
Let me mention something about this again. Red Bull. You mean Red Bull as in the? Okay.
I cannot talk too much about this.
Okay, it's okay.
This is just
it's okay.
the way it is.
It's okay. The funk, because I'm getting to the studio part of. How important are those two facilities for you as a musician? It's very important for your work and for your students. Where are they coming from?
Absolutely, it's amazing. It's a creative hub where the people can present their music and their vision without being economically stressed.
Okay.
And they're coming from all over the world.
Okay.
But the main focus of the studio is Berlin.
Okay.
Yes.
And you being director, that means what?
We have a team and we decide who we work with, who gets invited to the studio, what projects we do, and who we support, and we try to do as much as we can.
Okay.
It's post academy. The academy doesn't exist anymore, in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a fantastic project. I'm really, and the last 10 years I've been doing that, and it's
10 years.
A lot of my record is recorded in that studio, of course, because when I do
Yeah,
stuff in this setup, I spend a lot of time there, and it's a fantastic facility with all the instruments and microphones you can imagine. So,
Christian, you picked up a few tracks for us to play. We talked about this on the phone. Shall we listen to a couple of snippets?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one? Rhythmic, right? Is the first one on the album? Right?
Rhythmic Nocturne is the first one. That's the piano track where I'm just playing the piano along to a 303.
Okay, we're gonna listen to it through the headphones.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
Curtis,
Yeah.
plus it.
Yeah, this is the defining track of the record. This is one of the few tracks I made and I finished at the same week. So, because I need somebody who finishes my stuff, and that's of course me. But it's a different hat then because I'm.
Some of the elements that you use, tell us a little bit about.
This is I played on the piano, and the album is hugely possible because of the use of Ableton, the software. Because the way that you can sample it immediately and have a loop playing and then play to the loop and have that recorded and then and I love technology and I've been using Ableton since 2004 or something, so it's really like my hand in that sense, or it's like a limp, and it's for the creative process it's my tool. In that sense, for mixing and producing, I use other programs. But for this and that track, I had my laptop and I had the piano and I just played and I was clicking on clips and playing the piano and it's just happened.
And can you repeat that again? Because I don't think we heard it because of the speak. But it was influenced by what?
It was influenced by the Phantom Studies. Is the track from Marcel Detman and Ben Clock, which is for me one of the standout techno tracks of the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic and it's very arty and it's very very avant-garde and it's very unique and has its own place. It's like it's next to Claude Debussy for me.
Shout out to Marcel Detman again.
Absolutely, yeah. Fantastic artist. Yeah.
I like also. Yeah. We're gonna hear a little bit of what you said is the Black Mamba, and then we'll get you to respond on that a little bit. Okay. Now let's talk this Black Mamba again. Let's reflect back on that one.
Yeah, that came out of me sitting at the piano and just playing. I like to tape the piano with gaffer tape that all the strings are muted, so and that it sounds like a percussion instrument. And I play piano like a drummer. I'm not like this thing. I play like very, very, very loud. I cannot really hit the note, and I play it very rhythmic. And I can play a bit, but I'm limited, very limited. So I stay in the same range and stuff. So, and with that track, I had it's called whammy pedal. It's this red box where you have a pedal and you pitch it like this, and all these noises you hear, and the distortion comes from this pedal. And I recorded this also again in Ableton. This is my help. But had this pedal along with it. So I played the piano parts and changed the pitch with that. And that was so fantastic that the song arranged itself in that sense. So it just took on from there. And then luckily there was drums set up and I played the drums with it. And that's the way that the song happened.
And why Black Mamba?
Because that's the nickname of my wife when she's skiing. Genau, because she has like a black dress and she goes like she kills when she's skiing. So that's her nickname, and I thought it fitting. And she's a big raver, and she needs a name on every record. So
the next song we want to talk about, we should hear, I think, is one that you chose that you thought was really good. This one is a little bit more houseier, right?
Exactly. Yeah, this is from Daniel Flashbacks. Is his artist name? I think he's from. I hope it's right, from Aschaffenburg. That's what I get. And he's an amazing piano player, remixer, that does amazing things. And I found him on Instagram actually. And he reminds me a lot of my Truby Trio beginnings and the way he does house beats and music. And I got to know him, and he came to Berlin also, worked with one on my projects, and he made the remix, and it's fantastic. And it's really like going back and forward in the same time for me. So I'm really proud that he's part of my universe.
After we hear what he did on this mix, we can talk about after we listen to it. All right.
You got confusion all over the planet. Mother against daughter, father against son. The whole thing is getting out of hand.
you know, and where you come from, and in that sense. And I think it's not better or different. It's just different. Yes, they're different. You have different tools available in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Different tools at the arsenal in that sense. And sometimes it's also good to have this DJ perspective where you just forget about, you know, and sometimes it's okay to not worry about the tuning and the key the song is in, and combine things that are not meant to be together, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, okay, that's a new color, that's a new texture that I would have never come up with. And that's what I learned from the whole DJ culture, that these rules, what, you know, back in the days, this is not real music, blah, blah, blah. This is, you know, it only holds you back in that sense. And that opened a big door for me. And so, but of course, you overanalyze stuff anyway, way too much. But it's part of the fun. So.
I really thank you so much, because for me today is a difference between some of the interviews we've had when you have people that doesn't put it out there, right? This whole conversation, he's put it out there, no matter which direction we were going with it.
Yeah, you know, I know everything. You don't ask me.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
and the humor inside. This is so cool and so great to hear you just do that, you know? And because I feel the same like you know, I may have my opinion, but to actually say it and be able to articulate it out is a very important.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's what we do in that sense, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's also for me at the time now, you know, to give the torch to the people who need it in that sense, and fuel the fire, and you know, it's so important that I had a fan club, you know. It was Michael Reinbold from Compost, in that sense, you know, and then it was the Drumlesson guys and stuff, and you know, and I want to be that guy too for other people, even if I don't know them, you know.
I love that you're saying this, and you said it before. It's when you've been on this journey for a while, you're here to keep the door open, because you opened the door, someone else helped you open the door and opened the door for you a little bit, and you opened yours for us now. You shared a lot, and I fully appreciate this, and I really want everybody, please, listen back. If you just tuned in very late, please go and listen back. There are a lot of gems inside. For myself, I call this mentorship.
Okay, yes.
And I think it's very important to have people that speak about their journey as artists and really open up. Because a lot of people want to sit on their little treasure boxes, you know, to keep it. I personally think creativity grows the more we share it, when we open our heart, and it's love grows when we open our hearts and we share it. And thank you for being such an inspiring person.
You're
to
welcome.
talk
My
to.
pleasure. That was fun. It's good. But that's the part of the fun game now, you know, that we can share these ideas. And I think the people often don't know that they have the gift of sharing this, you know, and they're afraid and they're insecure still. There's a lot of, is it, you know, this imposter syndrome, of course, you know, resonates with everybody in our business. Is it really I hope nobody finds out that I don't know what I'm doing. Can I repeat what I did before? Yeah, this is, of course.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes.
Well, for everybody,
Let me say this.
I want to do the promotion part, because this is a shameless promotion too.
Of course.
Please let us know, when can we get your new record? Where can people find you online, if you are online?
Yes, I'm not online, but I have an Instagram page where you can reach me. But I'm in Unk mode. I'm just.
And the website? The website is still active, though?
No, the website doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
Just I didn't have the energy and the resources to do it. But the album will come on Compost Records, and it comes in the summer. And the first single will come in April. And then May, June, July, the rest of the record and the album will come. It will be a double vinyl as well. So I'm really excited about this. A beautiful cover made by Milan Till, the artist from Munich. And the design is from Paul Snowden, who did German Wasted Juice in the 90s, who's also...
I saw the darkness of this label.
And then the cover is like a drum set that's color thrown at, the white color, and it's the shade of the drums. So it's
Okay, you know what I didn't see?
Yeah.
I thought I saw a mask or a
Yeah,
face
it
or
looks
something.
like a gas mask or like an evil devil, but it's a drum set, the shade of a drum set when you throw color at it. It's fantastic. But it's also good that nobody really figures it out because it's like mysterious. It's not my drumming record. It's just a record where I also play drums and present drums in that sense.
So we're gonna look out for your record.
Yes, please do.
First single in April.
Yes.
The album is coming out by end of the year.
Yes.
No,
On
during the
platforms
year in the
and,
summer and all
And
platforms.
link and subscribe this beautiful podcast with these two beautiful people here. Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you so much.
I had a pleasure looking at you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
We have more.
invitation.
I have one more. I really have to say this because it's
Okay.
very important to me.
Oh my God.
Everything you've done, what do you hope people discover from? When they hear this as a full album, what do you hope they discover from once they listen to it from start to finish?
Do you mean the track or the
album?
The album. I hope that they discover the I don't want to say vibes. It's a strange word, but just the energy or the spirit of the album. That
The reason why I ask that is because sometimes you put these tracks together and some of the albums that you listen to, like you listen to in the beginning, they have a connection to them somehow through when you listen to it.
Yeah, but for me, it's a
start to
journey.
finish.
It's all connected.
Good.
But
okay, good.
It's just I did the album just for me. Actually,
Okay.
I don't care what anybody takes out of it in that sense. But I hope that, of course, it brings joy and also the sense for sophistication of the different genres I'm touching in that sense.
Okay, let me rephrase.
I don't want to overdo anything. I'm just happy if it's not wasted time. But you know what John Lennon said? Wasting time with you is not wasting time. So maybe that's what we do.
That's wonderful. This is a wonderful finishing line. I love it.
Okay, then let's put it like this. If you listen back on these headphones to yourself and you lay down and you listen to it from start to finish, what do you yourself feel in this journey? What is it?
I feel this eclectic collection summarized and held together by low bass drums. In that sense, that was for me the really important part. That the fundamental frequency is always the subsonic bass that I'm still fighting to master after 50 years in the business. It's drum and bass, and everything on top is the ear candy in that sense.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, good. With that said, thank you each and every one of you for listening to us here on the Decisive Podcast Series, episode 2 and season 2. Worldwide exclusive, baby, with Christian Prommer.
Here you go.
And trust me, Christian, I know you're a humble guy in all this mess, but it's such a grateful honor. And and we have much success. And will we see this performed on stage?
Yes.
With the live?
Yes.
With the live
In
band?
May we will start doing shows, little ones. I'm not sure if I have musicians or do it solo. I'm still working it out, but it will be very energetic and fun.
If you come to Munich, I'm gonna come.
Of course.
I'm gonna be there, front row.
But thank you
Yes.
for having us and thank you for the spirit and the positivity. I really like it. And
you.
good to see you guys again.
Right.
Yes.
And for those that you want to contact us for the Decisive Podcast Series, for anything concerning new talent, if you want to,
Perfect.
Yeah, that's okay. New talent, just contact me, Roberto, at decisiveseries.de. And for bookings, of course, I'm a DJ. Contact me at Roberto at robertoingram.com. Contact at robertoingram.com. And Zoe, what about I would like to promote this. I love your insight of an artist. Come on, tell them.
Well, No.
Yeah.
All right.
She is
That
so
is the
cute.
inside of
It's
an
so
artist.
cool.
It's twice a month on Zoe Mazah on YouTube, and you can always find me Zoe Mazah Music on Instagram. Peace out.
Yes, because we really appreciate you, and we're so glad that you, support us. Thank you. Have a nice one. Oh, happy Valentine's Day. Belated, right? Belated. Thank you again, Christian.
Thank you.
Appreciate
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for spending time with us. Decisive Podcast Series live by Roberto Ingram, co-hosted by Zoe Mazah.